Well, I'm just going to hang on a second because it always freaks me out this a little bit when I'm... Here we go. Oh, I'm just going to shut him up. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, right, sorry. I've got it in it just to make sure it comes up. Right, Q&A. I've already got two good questions actually. So some of you may have seen, I hope you've seen the video I did earlier. It's kind of fundamental. After the last stream, last week, I got a load of people screaming at me. You got to make a stand. Which, I don't think it's not so much about making a stand. I think it's more of a case of let's just get on with this, because I'm trying to be professional with the Chinese manufacturers, and they're being very professional with me, and so it's important. And we are where we are. I'm not going into it. Watch the video if you haven't seen it already. I would, if you haven't seen it and you're a backer, I would. In fact, if you're someone who's on the waiting list, I'd watch it as well. That's why I made it public. So we're just at that point. Got to get on with it, and I need to order the next. Well, not net right now, but at the end of August, I need the money to pay for the next 1,000. Yeah, and as I said before, a lot of it's already paid, but it's the extras, the panels, and all that stuff that's extras, because we're now assembling out there. You can't just order 420. Well, you got to order 1,000. So, and this whole thing has really been a bit of a headache. I've had one person send a complaint, like, oh, this is terrible, I want a refund, la la la. So I just pointed him to the Kickstarter rules. And as I said in the video, your money's safe. I'm just holding on to it because I'm going to use it to make what it was given to me for, to manufacture and get these products. Whether you decide not to have one at the end, that's up to you. But it's very few people actually wanting refunds, as I said, and so that's all good news. It's they're counterbalanced by the over 800 people on the waiting list. So, but a lot of people are saying that they need to pay by credit card. Okay, fair enough. And as I said, I understand, but there's nothing I can do about it. So this is in play now. In 2 weeks' time. Now, admittedly, about 4 or 5 grand's hit today, and I think I'm hoping it's a little bit of a wake up. Because a couple of good points have been made. One was people have just probably forgotten about it, which is, I understand. And the other one is people have got a bit, I've kind of gone off retro. And so I get that. It has taken a while. But I'm feeling positive. I just got to get through this stage. Anyway, right. So I've had a couple of now, as I said, and I mean this, if there's no questions, I'm going. Right, I'm literally going. The idea of this was for people who've seen the video earlier can come on the stream and ask some questions. So let's answer. Tech trappings. Is there a timeline for those who've already paid should buy extras like the bag or the S video add-on? And it's very true that I did mention a while back to just wait. Now, the thing about that is that you've already paid your balance, so actually you've helped because you've already paid your balance. That's good. And of course, the money for the extras help because I've already paid for the damn things, so it'd be good to get some money in from them. But of course, I mentioned the wait because I was expecting to get a credit card online at some point soon, but at the moment, I can't see it happening anytime soon. So I'm planning So now, because you mentioned about a bag, I haven't actually got any pictures actually. But if you remember, I showed a picture of a new bag made in China, and the quality was really good, but the material was a bit not as good. So I sent them back to the drawing board, and they're absolutely fantastic. I was expecting to charge, because it was like $180 for a sample and plus shipping, and I expected them to try and charge me that again, which I would have paid. But they didn't. They just made me another one. They sent me some pictures and said, well, post it. You don't need to pay for it. Wow. So this is what I mean about the Chinese. They know they're going to get a big order. Now, so the bottom line is this. Now, I'm waiting for them to come back with final prices. But it's, fingers crossed, it won't be an awful lot more than the other one. Which means I can sell them for, instead of £90, should be able to sell them for £50. But I have to order 500. Now I've already sold 90 or 100, something like that. So, but I haven't I've actually turned off the bags. So here's the deal, and I have said this before. If you've already paid for a bag, which is £90, you have two options. You can have two. If you've ordered two monitors, I'll convert that to two bags. Yeah. If you only want one bag, then I'll credit your account £40, or the difference of whatever it turns out to be. There's going to be quite a bit of this going on. Credit in your account. Now, yes, I know, it's like, I'll add credit to your account so you can buy more, right? I'm not going to be a dick about this. But if it's small, it's not worth my while, refunding small amounts. Just keep it on there. But if it's reasonable amounts, and you know you're not going to buy anything else from me, later on, it'll always be on your account, and we'll decide and we'll refund it or something like that. So, but that's just something I just want to get out of the way. So, bottom line is if this bag turns up to be as good as it looks as better than the original one I had, because it's got that nice logo. If it's as good as it looks in the pictures, and the other one didn't, we could tell there was issues with the other one. Even though it was a strong bag, don't get me wrong, it was a strong bag. It was just the material was a bit shiny. If you came to Kickstarter, you saw it. It's a bit shiny. Some people actually really liked it. My wife went, oh, that's a bit cheap and tacky. Just kind of had that. Whereas the other materials, which I chose when I touched and felt it, and we've now got the same kind of material. You can tell where they bend, and it's a much stiffer material. So I'm quite pleased with the look of that. So I'd hold off anyway. The bottom line is hold off a little bit, because we should be here in a few days. If it's good, I'll then because obviously I want to sell loads of these, because I've got to order 500 of the things. So that's a bit of a chunk of money, but it does mean I can sell them for 50 quid each. Fingers crossed. I don't think it's going to go much. I think based on the original price and add a little bit, we can still do it 50 quid each. That's going to mean lots of people are going to want it, because a load of people said, whoa, yeah, of course, if it's only 50 quid, I'll have one, because that's a good price, and because they are brilliant bags. To put the monitor in, they are absolutely fantastic bags, but 90 plus VAT is quite a lot of money. I knew that, but some people were prepared to pay. But 50 quid, it's a no-brainer. You have to excuse me, my chest is a bit bad. Same question for Taj, so hopefully it answered. So hold on a week when I say, because there won't be any other changes. Okay, there's no other changes coming. So you'll have to do it by wise. But once you've got that set in place, sending another amount is just bosh. Hello, Joe Wolf. Hi, Joe. Any more updates on the new £50 bag? No, just done that. Will this be offered after, and will this be a direct order? Yes. I mean, look, as I said, after these monitors for the backers monitors and they're gone, I'm going to kind of hopefully turn into a distribution model, and not necessarily do day to day, because I can't. With no credit card's stupid, and then you know, it's almost like a conspiracy to kill me off. But you know, if I can't get the credit cards online and they, I mean, I'm not saying I won't ever get it, but it's not. But of course, I'd rather just have a distributor take care of everything. You know, I'd like some free time. So I hope that's the bags answered the question. The display looks fantastic. Love the details and the updates. Can't wait to get mine. I can't wait to ship them. Seriously, I can't wait. I literally didn't see any of this and only checked after speaking to Neil at Retro Man Cave. Not sure what that means. Okay, so Neil told somebody that it was Barclays that did the refunds. No, I've messaged him to correct him. They would have just kept the money. I'm not kidding you, because they said you've got 7 days and we're going to cut your account off with 300 grand sitting in it. And there was nothing. I said, well, they were no help whatsoever, and I wouldn't have been able to touch it. So I had to manually go in and refund the 650 people the full amount. I did it in about, it took me about 5 hours before they shut everything down. And then they shut my account, so I can't even access it. So I had to take screenshots of all the payments, and I've got these images to prove the money's were refunded. So I know they're all refunded. So yeah, Barclays were dicks. I'm still waiting for them to sort it out. I've sent them another reminder today. Can you sort this out? I guess I need to go watch the video. Yes, go watch it. But I think, Joe, you've already paid, so you've got nothing to worry about. I found them as buried when I searched for them. Yes, off and away. I guess I need to go watch the video too. Typo, Neil. Oh, okay, maybe it's a different person then, sorry. Is the new bag similar in style to the one on the website? Yes. That's the whole plan, was because I went in originally and I picked the material and we went for the materials, and that material worked really well. And so I've already had a sample of the new material that they posted me, which was the same material. Very subtle difference in texture, but nothing in it. The actual material was the same, so the actual build and everything about it looks the same. So when it turns up, I'm pretty confident it's going to be a fantastic bag and a lot cheaper. And I wanted to make these in the UK. I know they're more expensive, but I wanted to support UK business, and they turned me over, as you know. Right. Paid extras via Wise today. Had verification issue at first, but that got sorted. It wasn't best currency rate. Lose the point insurance I get with my cards. Hopefully you'll have money soon. Thank you. And I know what you mean on this. It's a bank transfer, right? But I'm not going anywhere. So, but I do understand people's concerns. I truly do. I've already paid and have one of the bags on my order. I'd now like to add S-Video and RF option. Is it worth waiting to see what happens with potentially cheaper bags? Yeah, it's a good question. That is a very good point. Yes, hold off. If you're thinking about it, because what I'll do is I'll mark on your account credit for, I'm assuming it's 40 quid, yeah? Credit, and you can use that towards the payment for the bits. Because about 90 people ordered the case, isn't it? In some ways, that's a better way of doing it. Better for me. So that's all good. Can you explain a bit more about the Arcuda option? Okay, it's a bit, well, this is tricky. I can't go into a huge amount of detail. So basically, the idea of the Arcuda option is, I picked a panel which, this is my opinion, 90% of people will be more than happy, and everybody who's seen it loves the panel, right? However, it is, by essence, it's a PC panel. So if the lowest you can go is VGA, which is 31 kilohertz. Yeah, I forget if it's horizontal or vertical. Vertical refresh. It does 50, 60, 75 hertz, refresh rate. but it doesn't do a true 15 kilohertz. So what we do is, with the wonders of Appy's board, this board, which is a scan doubler, a bit more than a scan, there's a lot more, but it's using GBS control, very low latency, but it basically converts 15 kilohertz signal into a VGA signal and goes on there as a normal VGA signal. And then it just looks really good. And it uses TrueView chip from TrueView chip from California. But what we've done is it's based originally on the GBS 8200 board, but we got rid of that design because it was noisy and Christ knows what else. This has gone 4-layer. Appy's done a fantastic job on this, and as I said, this is about the 7th generation, but it's using GBS control, which is very low latency, great system, microcontroller, and of course you get EGA. Well, anyway, you know all this. So basically, that's how we get the 15 kilohertz signals on our panel. Now, again, back to the Arcuda. The idea was that is a native 15 kilohertz panel and native 15 kilohertz controller, as well as HDMI and VGA. Here's the problem. A, really expensive. It's a very custom panel they've got to make. Really hard to get people to make the panels. People have asked me about OLEDs. And believe it or not, I've actually potentially, don't get excited, I potentially found a supply of OLEDs, but at the moment we need to be ordering like 20,000. You know what's happening there, don't you? But theoretically in the future, if this thing sells, if these monitors sell well and we get a bit of a, we may be able to negotiate that down and get an OLED, and then because we know we can make a controller to control that panel at 15 kilohertz, right? We know we can do that. We just need to obviously get an OLED later. Now, the idea of the Arcuda is it's kind of a halfway house. It's not OLED, but it's a very high speed panel that can go down to 15 kilohertz and do a great job. And that's the idea of it with custom electronics. Now, we've stressed they must support the backplane. They have one of our monitors with the controllers, with the backplane. They have everything, all the electronics, they've got everything. So it's just a case of they're having problems getting a panel. I did get an update recently, but they're having trouble. It's just literally, it's a world market. Small numbers is very hard to get. So it is happening. It's just difficult, okay? Now, to be fair, mine aren't shipping yet, so you can't lay into them yet. But the idea of the Arcuda option was we'll supply the bits like the chassis and the backplane and the power supply. It will then go to them, and then they put their bits in it and they ship it out to you. And then all you do is you pay them the back. Well, however it's going to work out, we'll do that. So that's still happening, but it's not as simple as some people think it is. It's not. It's not like Kurt. It's not like Picard. Make it so. It doesn't work like that. And you're dealing with markets, it's a nightmare. Right. Okay, I think I added it, but not entirely sure what to expect. Hopefully that's covered it in a roundabout way. Is there anything a fully paid up backer can do to help the project over the line? No need. You've done your bit. You don't need to do no more. I had my poor wife, obviously she doesn't see everything, so she came into my office in here earlier on, and just as I was reading a message, a kind of irate I want a refund message, which I replied, please look at, sent them the Kickstarter details, and just it's not like going to Amazon, and she said, look, your money's safe, that kind of thing. So she got to see that, and of course she went out. So, but then like half hour later, I got someone comes online and says, I could order another one if it helps. No, you don't have to. You've done your bit. You've ordered it and you've paid your balance. That's all I can ask, all right? So If you want another one, fine. By all means, order another one. But don't do it because you think you need to support the. We will be fine. The only reason I made it sound like there's the only reason I made it sound like the project could end, it's not that it could end, it's just the fact I can't order the next batch. There's no way I ever, because I need about 200,000 to order the next batch because of all the extras. To order 1,000, do you know what I mean? It's like, it's a lot of money. I mean, and so, I've got the money set aside for this 1,000 batches coming in. It's going to ship, all the money's there for the shipping and everything, but I haven't got the money to order the next batch. That's the issue. And I won't be ordering them unless I can get the money to do it, because I'm not rich. And I've invested everything into this thing. So that's why I'm on the waiting list. I've got 830 people on the waiting list, right? And I know probably half of them will want it, and a lot of them will pay by Wise or bank transfer. And a lot of them said they want to. So there's a lot of people. So if I sell that lot a monitor at the back of the list, yeah, they go to the end of the list, but they get one of the next 1,000. They get it quicker, right? They help the project, but their money, because it can pay for the balance of the 1,000 that I need to spend. So that means then we get another 1,000 in, comes over. Once everyone's paid all their balances and so on, and we've paid them all off, there's actually enough to order another 1,000. But the maths was worked that way. It was just the way we worked the maths. And I'll be honest, I didn't expect all this. I expected it to be fine. I expected to lose a few. You always do. But I didn't expect to have these problems with the credit cards. Can the little white glowing display set to switch off after a short delay for retroing in the dark? So that's we're not in control of that. If it's a good question. So if you buy Appy's, this isn't available yet, but if you we've got this little thing called Appy's Spectrum Analyzer, which you might be able to see on that one there. It's doing that with the sound. That one doesn't, because that's an older version. But what that does is it will turn off and go black. At the moment, we are not if you haven't got that in it, we're not controlling it. It's down to GPS control, and there isn't anything in it that allows us to turn it off. So at the moment, I would say no. But as I said, if you've got Appy's Spectrum Analyzer board, which hopefully won't be very expensive, and it will come later, you just plug it in, and it goes. If there's no sound, it just turns off. Yeah, and it just blanks the display, and you can switch between the GPS control display and the analyzer display. So that would do it for you. But as standard like that, at the moment, no, the answer's no. There's nothing I can do about that unless we modify the software. So bear with me on that one. Now, you can switch it to like one of the presets, and so it's just like a number 1, and it'll be almost gone. But yeah, so it's not. You could just take it and don't have it, but I wouldn't. Let's see if we can resolve that. It'll be interesting to see what customs do once it ships. Had some issues. Right, you're going to pay your 20% VAT. That's nothing, no way around that, right? If you're abroad, because we ship excluding VAT, so you will have to pay your local VAT. You're not getting away with that, right? That's just going to happen. And there will probably be a £10-ish handling charge, which is annoying, but that's just the way it is. And ultimately, going forward, which obviously you're backers, so you're in this bit of a going forward, we will have distribution, and you'll just be buying locally. Yeah, so that going forward, it won't be an issue. But unfortunately, all you're really going to get charged is like a 10 to 15 euros, dollars, pounds handling charge, which is annoying, but it's on quite a large value, so you will get that. I'm happy to have fully paid and looking forward to receiving the monitor. Totally trust you, and no worries sending back payment. Thank you. I mean, look, this is my third Kickstarter. I've been around for a while, so I'm just telling people like it is. And a lot of people don't know me, so but hopefully they looked at my previous Kickstarters and saw the way it was run. And this one, if you come in and look at this, even though it's a year late, there's very little criticism at the moment. There's very little. Odd ones, and quite often the other backers kind of comment. But all I can do is my best. How is Happy? Obviously want to get well soon. He's very unwell. I can't go into details. I will at some point. But he's not very well. I think I want to add another one to my order. You don't have to. If you want to, go on in. Unfortunately, adding a monitor means more shipping because it is a volumetric shipping. So if you add another one, it's double the size, so double the cost. So I can't do anything on the shipping. Unless you're in the UK, and I might turn off and just send it for free shipping. But there's not much I can do about that because it is still expensive. Black electrical tape would make it black. It's a bit tacky, but let's see. Oh, talking of black. Let's see what happens with that. The nice thing about doing business with your mate is you leave it all out in the open. Yeah. It does get me in trouble sometimes, because sometimes people haven't seen the context, and they just see the cliff note, and then they go. But I think it's better to over communicate than under communicate, but that's just me. I back both cases in this one, but trust is earned. Amiga community had some interesting players in the past. Well, I'm an interesting player from the past. Yeah, so. Is collection an option for those in the UK? Not really. I mean, it's not really. I mean, no, not really. It's not. It's just the fact that we're not set up for that kind of thing. And I've got an office, but it's just rammed with. It's going to be rammed with stuff, and we'll hardly have room to move. So, and then we'll end up spending 2 or 3 hours with some, because I always do, and so that's not going to work. So no, I think it has to be shipped. I had this with the cases. We didn't do that either. Once the backers have been served, will you breathe a sigh of relief and go on vacation before doing a second batch? Well, once I've shipped the second batch, I'll breathe a sigh of relief. Once all the backers have got theirs, I'll still have to order another lot. But I don't want to make it sound like I'm working ridiculously hard, because the last 6 weeks, we've finished the development, and it's all been about manufacturing. They've been manufacturing, so apart from communications and so on, there's not been an awful lot to do, and so I've been kind of relaxing. We've been going out, been doing trips on the bike, and doing stuff with Alfie and the wife, but that's all changing soon, because once they're on the boat, then I'll be preparing, and we get in. It's going to get crazy. So yeah, I mean, once we ship more, I will probably take a breather, but it's not too bad. I'd rather have the honesty, yeah. But that's why I like doing these live streams. People moan because some people say, "Oh, I'm not sitting there watching for that." But look, you know what I mean? I'll tell you, and you decide if I'm talking bollocks. You know, and you can judge me on that. Here we go again. Have you had much grief yet about the order swap outs? Oh, order swap out. No, I had one. He said, "Oh, I want a refund." I mean, you can't have one. You'll have to wait. But no, most people have been so far pretty good. But I'm hoping. I mean, look, you know, you got 2 weeks to pay, and if not, you still, you know, if you can pay any time you like, and if the credit cards do come online, then you can just bang. Everyone can just pay, and we're back on track again. But you know, I'm not holding out any hopes on that in the immediate future. Although if they cleared my credit score, if you haven't seen it, in the video I show the credit score page and I show the letter from Barclays saying that should be gone by now, admitting that they, you know. Do you have any plans for things you want to add to the display later on that you want to share? Well, you've already know I've done that. We're going to do, there's the iMega, which is my pet favourite. Well, mine and Happy's pet favourite. The Pi kit you know about, the Mr. kit you know about. Going to be a kit for the Amiga kit, the little GS, the 600 GS. There'll be a fitting kit for that at some point later, not right now. We're going to do our own custom Pandora. If you don't know what that is, look it up. But it's basically an arcade board based around an ARM process, emulated arcade system. So we're going to make a custom board again later. Hopefully that'll be about £60, £70 and you just plug it in and it turns it into an arcade machine. So that will be exciting, but we have to order a lot of them, and so that's, you know, I've already covered that. Any complete card solutions planned for making it affordable iMega? Well, yeah, I mean, you've already seen it. That I've got two, Appy's got one. The problem we've got at the moment is purely down to we're waiting for Claude to finish his putting the Amiga video signal, you know, the RGB signal, into the camera port, so it all goes out through the HDMI. We're waiting for that so we can incorporate it. Now, the problem's going to be is Appy, because at the moment there's no. He has pretty much completed it, but it's not a product yet, and it looks like one, but it still needs tweaks. So we have to wait and see how Appy gets on. Finish what you promised, but don't overwork yourself. Any chance you'll mark the screen as a gift when shipping to Germany so we can avoid paying customs? I'll look into it. I don't... I'll look into it. I don't know if that quite works that way. We'll look at, but I can't say what I did last time, but that may be a way of helping a bit for that, which I'm not talking about. Is Fassy here? Oh, Fassy. Hello, mate. No stupid games. Yeah, no, it can be a problem because if I do something like that, look, I can't talk about that because, you know, evidence. But we'll see what we can do on that kind of thing. Will there be extra fees for monitors destined for the US? Well, I won't be charging any extra fees apart from shipping. The Americans are usually pretty good. You might have to pay but no one comes back to me and says, "Oh, I'm about to pay all this extra money." So, you might get like a handling fee from like, well, I'm using DHL and they're actually a bit better than UPS. UPS are, but DHL seems to be a bit better. So everything's going by DHL. So I've not had people at the moment saying about that. I've not had anyone scream at me about fees, so I think in the US it's not too bad. Alright, well, what's the time? Yeah, no, I don't know. I'd be hearing about it, you know, so I don't think we've had any problems with that. They've been pretty good in America, just to be fair. Yeah, all you have to worry about is initial shipping costs. Well, actually, America's quite cheap. I know it doesn't. You might not think so. Australia, you do need to give me a kidney. It's just horrible. It's just ridiculous. Isn't there something like an $800 threshold in the US before they charge any customer? Oh, I don't know. I mean, you'd think I would, but I think it'll be under that anyway. So if that's the case, it'll be under that. Right. Unless you're going to get some more questions in, I'm going to go. So I'll give you a minute to think about that. There's no one putting any questions. Right. Okay. So I've answered. I think I've answered quite a few questions. So look. Thanks for joining in again. If you wasn't on the live, thanks for watching it, because we do get an awful lot of people watch it afterwards, so which is great. And all I can say is, if you haven't paid, please pay. If you can't pay you have to pay by credit card, don't stress, right? Just be aware that I'm using people on the waiting list to pay to fund your monitor, yeah, and so you can pay later. Just bear that in mind. It's not me trying to turn you over. It's just I want to ship these products. I think once we ship the first 1,000, things because people react the same as they did when they come to the shows. That I think people are going to be, oh, where's mine? Have you considered creating a full Amiga replica slots and all? Yeah, one day. Right, okay. I'm going to go. Thank you very much. I do appreciate you joining me. So I'm going to press this button now, say goodbye. So thanks very much. See you later.